Hello, builders. My name is G. Let's take a look back at week 3 and see what was going on with all the different projects that I've been working on. Really, honestly, only been working on one, taking a look at DraftStonk and trying to get that going, along with movement on the content front. So I've kind of added that as a category. We'll see that in the spreadsheet. This is going to be really interesting because I'm starting to morph these into essentially like a shareholder update, even though like I am a whole owner, there's no shareholders. I'm kind of still providing the same type of update that I would if I were doing more on the quarterly side or monthly investor updates. This is very weekly, obviously, so this is more of like executive team, leadership type of update and conversation that would be happening. So let's just jump right into it. Okay, so let's take a look at the project sheet. So obviously we're closing July of 2024. No movement on any of these because I don't think any of the products are really in the place to start, getting people on the wait list or whatever. That'll probably start changing going into August, which I think will be important. But yeah, so this is how I've got it structured so far. I added this column in here, and honestly, I'm wondering if a breakdown month over month would be better. And I'm still playing around with like the thoughts of like how to lay it out and all that type of stuff. Honestly, I think like this of what I'm building here with like all these different parts, like yes, I'm like very hacking Google Slides or Google Sheets, sorry, not Slides, to make it work. But I think this might be where this kind of combined, not just like P&L, but now we're looking at like potential for KPIs, content, costs. It's still, that's kind of, QuickBooksy, but like adding in this portion, this is essentially like an executive leadership view into things, right? And so even though this is like total transparency stuff that people wouldn't be revealing, I think that's kind of the rationale for what Poke Finance is gonna need to be. And with Poke, who knows? Honestly, I'm still awaiting the AI bubble to see what products are actually going to last before I make a triple down investment into, kind of AI agents and, turning Poke into the next generation Clippy. We'll see, but I think, being able to layer all those things together and unify this tool is already showing issues because look, if this pricing changes month over month, I changed this here, but then obviously the numbers are going to be weird, especially if I turn this into an equation. Obviously this one is just monthly recurring revenue multiplied by 12, but I have nothing for MRR in terms of like an equation to actually calculate that. Should be based off of this, but again, if I change the price month over month or like contract for one person is different than another, obviously this is not going to work out as well. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure QuickBooks has it. It's just like there are things related to these numbers, right? Where it's like content, for example, like how many people are moving from content over to the wait list, like that kind of flow isn't as clear, and I'm going a little bit too far into the information here, but again, wrapped up this month, I'm really probably thinking that we're going to be charging hard on waitlist for different products over here, and so if you want to sign up for any of these, I'll probably add like a little description column to the left here so they have like a brief information. But again, this is going to start getting cluttered because like we're going to start moving to the right here, so interesting there. But yeah, so really the main focus was on DraftStonk, which again I haven't pushed to production yet, but in separate videos you can find on my YouTube channel or all over the place on LinkedIn. I'll probably be posting more different demos of just pieces of technology that I've built, and whether that's just for the sake of getting feedback, but also to showcase like these are things that I can use potentially in different products in the future. Like it's a double investment, and I always love double, triple, being able to reuse as much stuff as possible. It's like being scrappy and balling with the budget. It's just how startup founders should be working. And so, this week I spent a lot of time, moving away from having to use a service like Clerk to run authentication of users and kind of rolling OAuth with auth.js, and essentially, for free. I mean, there's using Neon, the serverless database service there. So there is technically a cost there associated with that, but at least I control like the auth and how it's run and any particular bits in that. I'm not paying a premium to, a VC-backed service like Clerk, where in the future, the spending is going to be turned on. And if I put Clerk in everything, it's probably going to be a painful, migration that's going to happen in the future. So I'm kind of preempting that by doing, hopefully, a service that stays stable and long-term in auth.js. So that's kind of just a product update. Again, there's nothing here, so honestly, it might be a component of Poke Chops with the Trello base that it has there, kind of integrating all of it together, because there's KPIs here, but then like the actual like day-to-day operation stuff missing. So again, all these pieces, technically there are tools that could be solving each of these, but again, they're not the all-in-one aspects, which I know like a lot of people are like, oh, you lose focus, or hey, it's going to be a mediocre and everything. Like, no. I think that like being a very focused product for a certain market is in and of itself its own value prop, so that there are bits and pieces here or there are advanced features that are going to be left out because it's all about focusing on what the core client, market-based needs. And so in this case, executive leadership teams at small companies, like all this stuff, I'm tracking it in Google Sheets now, but honestly, there should probably be a better product there to roll it all together. So I have a personal finance dashboard base that can be used I can extend it from personal finances into kind of a nascent QuickBooks. I have Trello for kind of this content management and this KPI management. The same dashboard for QuickBooks can also be flipped to create kind of a way to track all these different stuff, which again, let's do the content update next. After the numbers, right? Building food tech with Brad, going great. Still need to roll a site for that, so that's another domain cost that I'm going to have to incur, which is fine. Well, I should actually put that under R&D costs. There's a lot of stuff under there. Total recorded 2. We've recorded 2 podcasts. We're going to record a third one this afternoon. So the one planned here. Again, should really have a planned column here that gets updated over time, but we'll work on that later. Let's see, anything else here? Yeah, G can learn. I did one interview with Pardees, which is going to be going up soon, but need to plan more of these, invite more people on. This is now 1. I have 1 outstanding that I need to record, that I need to get rescheduled because I was supposed to do it this week, but I had an emergency meeting. G can build, so now there's going to be 3 of these because we're on to week 3 now. I guess I don't like how this is recorded. This should probably coincide with the months, so I'll actually probably change that offline to update that. But yeah, so the total recorded, I could probably put it like here-ish or something. Or no. I guess it could still be here, but it's just calculated based off of like adding all of these down the line. Is there a more elegant solution? I don't know. We'll figure it out. Cool. What else is there? Yeah, no KPIs yet because we're not going into sales and marketing mode yet. Mostly development. Most of these customer interviews and just discussions, that type of stuff. I haven't started that yet, so not something to plan or track. So we're probably gonna have another NA. So used to the MacBook. Let me switch over to Surface laptop. All changes. Nothing changed week over week, and so we'll probably revisit it the week after. And I'll actually remove this column. Again, Excel, the best tool that we probably have, but not perfect. And people have pointed at like linear and other stuff, but honestly, I don't think that they're quite right for what startup people need, startup founders. So, all right, that's basically the update for this week. P&L, there's a lot of stuff that I probably need to be more diligent in updating, so I'll get more into that. But, there's Neon, which is a $20 cost. I got dinged for compute, which was an accidental, rapid refresh bug that caused a lot of database queries. So I gotta actually figure out how do I cap that. Vercel, I'm still on the free tier, so nothing being charged yet, but I presume that's going to happen in the future. I mean, in the future, probably learn how to roll my own AWS and deploy all that good stuff, so that I don't have to pay Vercel the wrapper. But we'll see about that in the future. Copilot, oh yeah, I gotta get the pricing for that. I'm super considering canceling Copilot. The autocomplete is nice to have, but it's increasingly becoming worse over time. ChatGPT, honestly, I don't know, hit or miss. The AI tools, OpenAI needs to get better, I guess. We'll see. So that's basically the update for this week. I'm kind of disappointed at the progress that I've been making so far. The auth took a little bit longer than I'd like. There was also creating an admin dashboard, so I could be like a super user to kind of control some stuff, mostly for debugging purposes. I'll probably remove it when the product actually goes live. But the point of it is, if I accidentally make a mistake somewhere with creating a leak in the fantasy draft for stocks for draft stock, if I make a mistake somewhere, I added the wrong variable and something, whatever, instead of jumping back into Neon to change it directly in the database, having an admin dashboard to safely do that, I think is incredibly important, especially the test and development phase that we're currently at. So more progress probably in draft stocks. We're going to be working on quick draft, what I'm calling quick drafts, which is basically you drafting against computers. Good first step before I start thinking about webhooks and doing a multiplayer type of thing. I tried looking at LiveVox again. They totally bricked everything by doing an update, and so unfortunately their documentation is not caught up to the new version that they've created, and a lot of the new web tutorials are now out of date on YouTube and whatever else. So it's kind of a startup, so we'll see if they ever fix that. But Poke Finance, honestly, I'm starting to really hate this Excel format and updating it. Again, I probably wish, and Superhuman might be a thing to take inspiration from, a very curated flow to add in information, especially if you create deadlines for yourself. You just go on from each component of the business and put in the new metrics each week, or if it is an API that exists, to pull it from the API. We'll see how that would work in the future with any API pulls from different things. But I think this might be a very powerful product to be able to build from an executive leadership perspective. I'll think about it. I think there's a lot to be done here, obviously, and this is going to be the primary focus, but this might also be kind of a secondary thing that's outstanding. So thank you for surviving through this longer update than I expected. Kind of over-explained a bunch of stuff. Hopefully try to get more concise in the future. But I hope that everyone remembers, if G can build, so can you. Go out there, build great, meaningful projects and products. Don't be worried about starting from zero. And I will see you all next week. Thanks for watching.